Good morning, my lovelies, or good afternoon, depending on what time you're watching this video. It's morning for me, and I'm so grateful to have some time to play in my studio. So here I am with my gel plate again. I didn't actually move it last time I played with it for the last video, so I thought I'd just do some more gel printing because why not? It's fun. And I also have a couple of stencils that I haven't had the chance to play with yet, so I thought I'd just try to do something with those. Now, one thing I wanted to mention to you is in the last video, I used a lot of metallics paint and that comes off quite easily from this. But if you use anything like a wax paste, for instance, like the Inca Gold, then you put some on your gel plate and don't clean it up right away, then you're in for a little bit of trouble, because I left some on mine and it took a while to get it off, and I thought it was going to be stuck on there permanently. But if that happens, just use a little bit of soap, no water or anything. Just put the soap on that area that's not coming off, rub it in with your fingers, and then use a piece of dry paper towel and then gently rub that area. So basically you want the paper towel to kind of glide, and the soap is making that possible. So you'll want to clean that up until it glides. If you feel like it's sticking, then just stop and add a bit more soap. And eventually that went through, and you know, that came off quite easily after doing that. So just a little tip for you that you may find helpful. Now I have got my gel prints from last video. I'll show you quickly what I did. Lots of metallics, as you can see. I'm addicted. So I'm going to leave the ones that are done on both sides for another day. And this one's got nothing, so I'll start with that one. And all I want to do first is just lay some colors, some very just pale colors for now. So let's do maybe, what am I looking for? Some light blue and maybe some light purple. Let's try that. So just a couple of blobs. I'm working on my 12 by 14 inch gel plate. That was a lot of paint right there. And A4 paper. Not doing anything complicated. Just putting a couple of blobs. This tube is a bit old, so I don't know. I think the paint is looking a bit funky now, but I think it'll be okay once I brayer it. Usually is once you brayer. And I'm sure there's stuff coming off everywhere. Always does. And I can still see a little bit of bits and pieces on the gel plate here, but I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm just doing a thin layer for now. I'm going to just clean the brayer on the sheet right here, since it's right there next to me. I'll clean that every time I need to. I'll just put it on there. And then I'm going to grab some more paper so I can pull this print. So the paper I love using for gel printing is a white cardstock 200 GSM, and I sell it in my store at mixedmediastore.com.au. That's the one that I recommend because it's not too thick and it's not too thin, and it pulls off everything you need, no problem. So I'm just going to do, you know, the most basic print here. And to be honest, when I play with my gel plate, I just, you know, use the most basic techniques because most of the time I use it for my backgrounds. So I don't do anything fancy with them. So here we go, lovely colors. I'm trying to get that little bit of stuff. Put that aside for a sec. And then what I want to do basically is have some color coming through the stencil on here. So it'll make more sense once I start doing it. So I'll put that aside for now. And I'm just going to add a few different colors. I'm not going to, actually I'll clean that up with my cleanup sheet. Why not? So I'll just pick that up just in case it mixes with what I'm going to do next. There There we go. Now let's find some more colors. Let's do some yellow, maybe some lime green, and some pink. So I'm using all Liquitex Basics paints. By now you may know they're my favorites. And I'm not sponsored, so nothing to do with that. I just love that paint, always have. You can go back to my old videos, you'll see that I've been using them for a long time now. And I'm trying to keep my lime green away from the pink because that will create a color that I don't like. I shouldn't say an unpleasant color because, you know, it's all very subjective really. But I'm going to try to not do that. Pink and yellow, beautiful. Gives you a lovely orange. I'm going to just clean my brayer again so I don't mix those colors up. And then some of this beautiful lime green. It's stunning. Until I've got most of my surface covered. And I'm going to put my girl here this way, right in the center. And I'm going to grab my first print, line it up, and hopefully we'll get something pretty. If not, then we'll just try again. Gel printing is all about experimenting, so, you know, can't expect everything to be beautiful straight away. Now I'm doing my best to kind of rub through that page so I can really get through the stencil and hopefully get a nice crisp print. We'll find out right now. Yes, that worked. So that's exactly what I wanted to get. It's like a rainbow effect with different colors coming through the stencil. That's pretty. Like that. Okay. Let's pull this one off. And that's going to look really nice too. So I'm just going to grab a white blank sheet and get that pulled away too. Go all the way to the edges. Nice little massage. Let's see what we get. This should be nice too. Beautiful. Oh, I love that. There's not as much definition around here, around the mouth, but that's okay. It still looks pretty awesome. I really love it. I'm going to grab some of that leftover color. So I'm going to alternate. I'm going to put some of the pink where there's yellow there. And grab the rest. No waste. And then some of the yellow with this pink. Sorry about the camera movement, guys. This new setup, I've got my camera sort of attached to my working table, so that's why it wobbles a little bit when I move around. It's not what I want, but that's what works best at the moment. And I think this green looks a little dry now. Oh no, I can still pick it up. It's still good. So I'm just going to fill up most of my areas that are still a bit blank. Let's see what we can get. It's pretty much everything now. I think I've pulled most of it off. Okay, well, I love that. That's pretty cool. Like I said, you know, it's not that defined, but you can still see the strands of hair. You can still see the eyes here. So for someone who's really good at drawing faces, this would be a really good starting point. To be honest, I'm not. I'm not very good at drawing faces. So, you know, but this is still a fun background for me to play with. So I'm going to put that aside and then try the other stencil with the same technique. So this time I'm still going to stick with lighter colors for the background. I'm going to reuse this yellow and a little bit of Aqua. This is some other brand that I was given, so I'm just going to use it up since I have it. A bit more of this yellow. Oops, that was a lot. And then let's just roll that up. Now when you're doing this, just take your time, you know. You don't need to put a lot of paint because you need to spread it out anyway. So a little paint goes a long way when you take your time to just brayer it around. And you just want a thin layer really, not much else. Clean that up. So we'll get a background print. Nice and easy. Remember that, that's pretty cool. Again, I've picked up some of the paint from before. Try to rub it off a little bit so it's not so obvious. This is a good way to actually clean your gel plate as well. And while that's drying for a second, I'll use my cleanup sheet and then collect those areas of paint. And what I love using a cleanup sheet on the side when I'm doing something like gel printing is that, you know, you get a page that develops into a really cool background without doing anything special really. First, you're not wasting your paint, you're collecting everything there, so that's great. And then, you know, you're just getting something with no work at all. That's awesome. So, all right, so we've got some yellow and some aqua in the background that kind of looks turquoise now. So I'm going to use some contrasting colors. I'm going to go with a pink, not this one again. I'm going to get the darker one if I can find it. I don't know if I even have I was thinking of the quinacridone magenta, which I don't seem to have in the Liquitex Basics. I'm going to use this other brand that I have. It's a bit too liquid for my taste, but you know, use what you have. What else can we use? We could use some orange. Let's see, let's do some orange. So this one is, I haven't given you the colors, cadmium orange hue. Sorry for not giving you the colors, I'll do that in a sec. Bit of orange here. And then, what else? Maybe some, let's do some, another pink, some fluoro pink, why not? So this is Pebeo Studio Fluorescent Pink. And a bit fart on camera. Paint fart. Not me, obviously. Okay, so just to give you the colors earlier that I used, this was medium magenta, lime green, cadmium yellow, light hue, brilliant purple, and light blue permanent. Okay, back to brayering. So I'm going to try not to lose all my hot pink if I can. My fluorescent pink. Don't know how this is going to turn out, but we'll soon find out. Experimenting, remember? And then I'm going to clean my brayons again on my cleanup page. Looking good. Okay, let's grab the other stencil, which was this one. Hopefully I've covered my plate enough. Yep. Most of it anyway. Doesn't have to be all perfect. I think you've gathered that by now. So I don't know how the pink is going to look on this, but we'll find out. And then once again, I'm just pressing nicely. I'm holding the page down to make sure it doesn't slide or anything. And then I'm making good contact with the stencil underneath. There's a bit more detail on this one. So I want to make sure I don't miss a spot. Nice rub. And let's have a look. Oh yes, that's cool. Very cool. I must say the orange and the pink have sort of all gone into one color, so it would have been nice if a bit more contrast, but it's still pretty funky. Something fun to play with as a starting point for a page, that's for sure. Put that aside. Put the stencil in the sink. I'm really lucky to have one right behind me. Something that I've always wanted. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm going to use my previous page and then pull up this side. I always do all my pages both sides. Again, no waste. Okay. This should be cool. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, the colors are a little bit more obvious on this one. You can still see the orange, the dark pink, and the fluoro this time. Much more obvious, and I love that fun texture you get with gel printing. You know, it took me a little while to get into it, but I love it now. You know, sometimes you don't see the point until you try something and then you get it. I get it now. That's awesome. Love that. Okay, let's put that aside. And again, I'm going to use my cleanup sheet to collect the leftover pink here. Remember, no waste. And you're cleaning your gel plate at the same time. So look, how cool is this? That's just so cool. I think I just made up a word. Cool and good. Could. How good is this? I love it. Love the pink. That I like. I'm happy that the fluoro is still standing out a little bit and not getting too muddled up with the rest here. Awesome background. I don't know if I prefer this background to the girls I just created or Okay, put that aside. I'm just going to keep going, but this time I'm going to use a regular stencil. And this one's from Caramel Studio. And it should give us a different effect because the patterns are much smaller on this. So I'm just going to do the same technique, nothing fancy at all. And we'll see how that looks. So the technique being just starting with a light colored background. I'm going to go with my yellow once again, I think. Should I go yellow? Yeah, let's do yellow. Bit more yellow. There. And a tiny bit of pink. And let's spray that. I don't mind if it's a little bit patchy. I think it gives it a little bit of texture. So I'll leave it like that. Just keep wiping this on my cleanup sheet. It's starting to get a bit full, so I might need to get another one. I'm gonna reuse this page. Pull that. This is where it's important to use a gel plate much larger than your paper, because if you don't, then you can't print all the way to the edges of your paper. So I always recommend getting the largest one you can afford. So that's picked up. I think I had some of the blue left over on that page before, so that's why I've got a bit of blue there. And then while that's drying for a moment, let's add some slightly stronger colors. Now, actually, before I do that, remember, I've been cleaning my page, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use this one just to mop up some of those sections and give me a little bit of texture on there. Because at the moment, it's a little bit flat, so why not pick that up? Bit more extra texture. Why not? Okay, so I'm gonna leave that grunginess on there. And let's do, what do we do? Lime green. Back to this blue. I'm wondering if I should do a darker. Let's do a bit of a Actually, let's even use some iridescent. It's been a while. So I'm going to use this green blue iridescent by Pebio Studio. So we've got some green, we've got some turquoise, and then I was thinking maybe some more pink, some hot pink maybe. Yeah, let's do hot pink. Why not? We'll see what happens. If it looks ugly, then we'll just paint over. That's my motto. So a little bit of lime green, a little bit of this beautiful iridescent turquoise blue, blue green actually, and a bit of the pink. This paint's so liquid, it's not funny. Okay, let's mix that up. Oh my god, that's so pretty. Now, careful with the pink. It may not always give you the colors you want. So I should have not mixed that up so much. I am going to clean my brayer a bit more and then just sort of mix the pink a little bit on its own, I guess. Slightly separately from the blue and the green. But still make sure that your whole plate is covered. Because that's how you create mud, my friends. Which I kind of did just there a little bit. I wasn't thinking straight. Okay. Let's find that page. The stencil. Let's put that stencil on here. Now I'm going to put this onto this page. So this is the one from earlier, the yellow and the pink. Same thing. So this is going to be a bit trickier because the openings are very small on this one. So I'm going to have to take my time, make sure I rub nice and hard on here, make good contact with the stencil. Just to pick that up. Let's see how it looks, if it's working. Yeah, it's working nicely. So jiggle the table a little bit and jiggle you at the same time. Sorry guys. No way around it. I cannot do this without moving the table too much. Okay, I think that should be most of it. If there's areas that we've missed, then it's alright. Okay, that's pretty cool. Art marks in a flash. I like how the colors have mixed up in some areas, like this blue and purple and pink. Nice. Of course, we've got some more fun on the background. That's going to be the best part. Oh, and how pretty is this stencil looking now? That's awesome. Let's just, don't think there's much on there, but I'm just going to print it on a piece of daily paper there, just in case something comes out. You just never know. Well, a little bit came off. A little bit, not too much. Nothing too exciting. Sorry. This one should be exciting though. Okay, I'm going to use the back of this one. Still actually slightly humid still on here. Just dry that up so I can rub my hands without smudging everything. I'm excited about this one, guys. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, fantastic. Oh, I missed a spot here. I don't know what happened. Wow, that's awesome. So much fun texture. I'm gonna pick up some of that. Oh, let's do this color first. Down here, since I've got a white patch. Not anymore. Pick up some of that pink. nice strong patches there. Let's put one here. Let's put one towards the bottom there. Whew. That's awesome. Love that. Just because I put lots of different colors, you know, everything's coming up. That's lovely, lovely. Okay, let's just do one more. Why not? It's just so much fun. You may be bored by now, but if you are, then I'll say goodbye to you now. If not, then stick around and we'll just do one more. Jelly printing is very addictive. As you can tell, I was only going to do, you know, a couple of prints and then I'm still here. Okay, just got rid of some of that texture. And then let's find a paint that's got nothing on it. I'll have to get a new one. So let's do the same thing. I love the sort of rainbow effect that we got here. Let's find another stencil this time. So another one of my favorites, Caramel Studio again. I think this is called Striped Lines, but I can't quite remember. But it's Caramel Studio anyway. Lovely. So, page, white page, a stencil. Now we just need some paints. I'm trying to do different colors, but you know, I think I'm just going to keep going with those colors. They're my favorite anyway, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do some yellow here. I'm going to do some lime green in this corner. I'm going to do some of that turquoise down here. Some of the pink here. And then some of the purple is a little bit dangerous. Let's do more of the blue on the corner back there. Okay, lost my brayer in all this mess. So again, be careful when you place your colors. I'm going to mix the pink and the blue will give you a purpley color. Pink and yellow will give you orange, so we're all good. The yellow and the blue will give you a green, we're good. These will mix together and this will mix together just fine, so we should be okay. But as to not create too much of a mess, I am going to do the brayering in sections. So this section first and then this one. Just so I don't get too much of the pink going this way. So I'm gonna pull my first print once again. Just a blank page. So it's going to have a nice bright background. I'll use this piece of, oh sorry, what am I doing? So this time I'm not going to do my first layer with a base color. I want my colors to be true, so I want my page to say, I can't speak. I want my page to be white. So, but I want the paints and everything that comes through this stencil to be quite colorful. So I'm going to use the same colors as before, some lime green, yellow. Again, I'll use some of this green, blue, iridescent, and the magenta once again. I think that'll be nice. So I'm going to do a few blobs. So these colors all will work well together, mostly. Green, the lime green, and the pink, not so much, but we'll be careful not to mix them up. So I'm going to do lime green here. blob of pink away from the lime here. And then this beautiful iridescent green blue. I put a blob there and there. Okay. And then when I brayer, I'm not going to have this color go over to that side. I'm just going to do these two together. Pink and blue are safe because they make a purple. And then the blue and the yellow is safe because, you know, it's going to make you a green. So I'm just going to use another page to wipe my brayer. Then basically I'm doing that side, then I'll do this side. And I'm not going to mix them too much in the middle to avoid going towards that pink. Okay, here we go. I'm going to place my stencil. This, again, most basic technique. But I think it's going to look really pretty. Sometimes the simplest things are just the best. Remember that. Put my page on top. And nice rub once again. I'm hoping this is going to look fantastic. I can picture it in my mind. I hope it will match what I have in there. I think it will. The stencil is already pretty to start with, so you can't really go wrong. So again, I'm just making sure I make good contact with the paper and paint through the stencil. And then, you ready, guys? Let's see. Wow. Wow. If I do say so myself, I love this. And I love that the iridescent is shining through. That's so freaking cool. So freaking cool. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Of course, we still have some goodness there. Of course. So, let's see. I don't think there's not much paint on the stencil when you pull that off, but still, I'm going to put it on here just in case. And then I'll just chuck it in my sink. Yeah, there's not much coming off. Very, very faint. But still, some fun grungy texture. Can't spit on that, can we? This is going to be lovely too. Oh, I'm excited. Super excited. I haven't covered my whole page, but well. It pays off to use iridescent colors and metallics when you're doing this because it just gives you that extra dimension. Excited. Are you excited? Oh, yeah. This is like jelly printing porn. That's so awesome. I love this one too. Don't know which one I love most. What effect do you prefer? This side or the reverse? They look pretty cool, both of them. Don't know if I can choose. Well, in the meantime, while I'm thinking about that, I'm just going to collect the rest of the paint there, since I didn't cover my whole background. Bit more. That's most of it covered. I can't really complain. And that you can always fix later anyway, so just use a little bit of paint with your finger or with the brayer, just do the edges and you'll get everything covered. That's just awesome. And the key here is just to use a bunch of different colors to give you a rainbow effect and a really interesting stencil. That's all there is to it, really. But it's the same technique throughout, and that's, you know, a super simple technique to use, and you get very different effects depending on what stencils you have. So let's review what I've done so far. So we've got that one, these 2 pages. I just love them, really do. Okay. And then what else do we have? There's a couple of pages I did off camera, sort of playing, and no stencil or anything, but just I love the colors, and since I've used the same colors through all of these, they go really well together. Gives me an idea of something to make later on. This is a cleaner page, but still funky. Then this is the sort of girl from before. Pretty cool. And then this other side. And then we had that one, which looks very simple in comparison to the other one, but still funky, like ready to be decorated and embellished further. I'm not going to leave it just like that. Then the other side. That one I like, but not so much. I think the colors that I've used on top didn't blend as well as I wanted. So where the blue here is quite blue, I love that. But where the color got a bit transparent, then it didn't quite work as I would have liked. Something to redo. Then we have this other girl again. After all this goodness, I don't think I like this one so much, so I'll do something over that. And then this one I love. Love that texture. So, my friends, grab your gel plate, grab your brayer, grab your paints, and just go and have some fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.